Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagat Guru Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi, and I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally, and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube, TikTok, and the various groups from around the world subsequently. Today is the beginning of the month of the Ramanujans, as coined by ourselves here at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. In this month, starting from today, we celebrate the birthday of Lord Sri Ramanuj, who appeared on this earth over 1,000 years ago. We culminate on celebrating my Guruji's appearance day on the 27th of May, who appeared on this earth in 1937. Both these dynamic saints changed in their respective times the world forever. And it is for this reason that we have decided to glorify their sacrifices for societal synthesis in a continuous 23-day satsang. You would have noticed that I start paying my obeisances starting from my spiritual master and ending with Lord Sriman Narayan. And in this month is when all these potencies interact and interrelate, that gives us the gushing stream of spirituality all the way from Lord Sriman Narayan down through the reservoir, the spiritual reservoir of the Sri Narayan Dham here in Durban, South Africa. So it is spiritually the most important set of events taking place at the Sri Narayan Dham. It is in this time that the entire power and potency of Lord Sriman Narayan can be felt, and from this point it is spread around the world. In years to come, this celebration will be international. Lord Sri Ramanuj can be seen on my right. I think the camera woman made certain during the songs and bhajans to capture Lord Sri Ramanuj adequately. And if you see that frame next to the murti that I purchased from the Sri Ramanuj ashram on my 2018 trip, tracing the footsteps of Lord Sri Ramanuj. So that murti I bought at the birthplace of Lord Ramanuj. That murti on my right I bought at the birthplace of Lord Ramanuj. And that photograph depicting the body of Lord Ramanuj that still exists in Sri Rangam ashram in South India after 1,000 years has elapsed. That body still exists. And I also sent Vishwadhar Ramanuj Das on a trip to the south to verify all that I have seen and travelled and experienced. And he also had the pleasure of witnessing the body of Lord Sri Ramanuj at Sri Rangam. That body is there today. If you go to Sri Rangam, you will find that body of Lord Sri Ramanuj without any embalming. They simply wash his body every 6 months. Why is his body still in existence? Define science. Why is his body still in existence? Define science. We're living in an era of social media and fact checking. Fact check-in as I give this discourse makes my job very, very simple. So whilst I'm giving this discourse, somebody can go on to the internet, somebody can type in Lord Sri Ramanuj, somebody can type in Sri Rangam, body, existence, 1,000 years, and you'll find and verify what I am stating. A 1,000 years ago, Lord Sri Ramanuj traversed India on foot. He went across all sections of India, and his mission was social cohesion. He is the first social integrator of this magnitude in the world. Lord Sri Ramanuj is the foremost social integrator of this magnitude that ever lived on this planet Earth. He is also the first commentator on the Vedas, bringing the Vedas back to its original status quo. Bringing the Vedas back to its original status quo. He gave us a commentary on the Vedanta Sutras, and he gave us a commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. And these are direct commentaries made easier to understand without changing the essence either of the Bhagavad Gita or the Brahma Sutras, and this has not been attempted subsequently. Neither has it been lost in the preceding 1,000 years. So if you want to know what the Bhagavad Gita is in its reality, then it is only the commentary by Lord Sri Ramanuj that will give you the Bhagavad Gita as it was spoken at Kurukshetra. All other Bhagavad Gitas are deviations of the absolute truth. And I've proven to you, I've brought out Bhagavad Gitas by other saints and philosophers. I showed you the translation from Sanskrit to English by those same saints and sages, not by myself. And I showed you how they twisted and turned meanings to suit their philosophy. Lord Sri Ramanuj did not invent any philosophies. He gave you an easier understanding as it was written by Veda Vyas 5,000 years ago, or compiled by Veda Vyas 5,000 years ago. So Lord Sri Ramanuj is the Adi Guru of Sanatan Dharma. Lord Sri Ramanuj is the Adi Guru of Sanatan Dharma. Everything that came after him, anything and everything, any philosophy that came after him that is not consistent 100% with the commentary of Lord Sri Ramanuj is declared to be false. Is declared to be false because there is a Vedic injunction that states, if you drink milk that has been tasted by a snake, what will happen to your body? Will be poisoned. If you drink in knowledge that is not the absolute truth, what will happen to your mind? Will also be poisoned. I've stated consistently for the past 10 years that Lord Sri Narayan is absolute, knowledge is his essence. Knowledge is his essence. In order for him to pass on this knowledge to mankind, he spoke the language himself or the knowledge himself. Then he incarnated and he compiled the knowledge himself. Then he further incarnated and he lived the knowledge himself. Because it is absolute, he could not trust any human to deliver this absolute knowledge to you, so he did it himself. Does it make sense? Speak the knowledge, compile the knowledge, and enact that knowledge. And this is what Lord Sri Ramanuj gives us in his Bhagavad Gita and the Vedanta Sutras. So if anyone wants to become a guru, then you have to be in a mental state of purity. In a mental state of purity, when you are in a mental state of purity, your language is pure and your character is pure. You cannot clean your nose on social media and let people look at you cleaning your nose. That is filthy. It's not cleanliness. You cannot eat on social media and your spittle drooling on your face. That is filthy. You cannot cook and scratch your psoriasis. That is filthy. If you do these things, you cannot connect yourself to the Supreme Lord, because this state is called tamasic state. The state is called a state of tamas, and in tamas, the demonic attributes become prevalent in how you live. So if you want to know a demon or you want to see a demonic person, go on TikTok and Facebook and scroll. If you see somebody dig in the nose, if you see spittle drooling whilst you eating, and if you see continuous scratching of psoriasis near food, these are unhealthy habits. You cannot use this character and say that you might become a guru one day. You understand? So Lord Sri Ramanuj, he sets out through Vedic injunctions who is a guru, who is a disciple, who is a demon. He clearly sets it out, and this is one of the reasons I heard in the last video that there is no body, B-O-D-Y, of people that he has complained to can reprimand me for anything. Why I cannot be reprimanded by any institution? Why? I've stated previously, there is nobody that has taken the birth yet that can prove that I am not a guru. So I want to explain that with the teachings of Lord Sri Ramanuj. So let's see. What is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita throughout the Bhagavad Gita. What happens in the Bhagavad Gita? When Lord Sri Krishna makes his appearance at the battle of Kurukshetra. And what is the battle of Kurukshetra? What is the battle of Kurukshetra? What is the battle of Kurukshetra? Who is fighting who? There is a fight between righteousness and unrighteousness, dharma and adharma. Lord Sri Krishna becomes the charioteer. He becomes the charioteer, and he places his chariot in the middle of these two entities, dharma and adharma. And he starts giving his instructions when Arjuna saw that all his family members were performing adharma, and he decided that he could not find his own family. Yes? So what was the final instructions of Lord Sri Krishna to Arjuna? Did he encourage throughout the Bhagavad Gita? Did he encourage through knowledge and impel him to fight adharma? Is that the essence of the Bhagavad Gita? Is that the reason, one of the reasons that Lord Sri Krishna incarnated on this planet 5,000 years ago? To impel the righteous to fight the unrighteous. It is a Vedic injunction. I am living the Vedas. I am living the Vedas. And if I am tramping your head through the Vedic injunctions, then I'm tramping it righteously, am I not? Have I taken my instructions righteously? I am a guru. I have two functions. I have two functions as a guru. My one function is to expound Sanatana Dharma as it has been expounded by Lord Sri Ramanuj. I have to expound Sanatana Dharma as it has been expounded by Lord Sri Ramanuj. And this is what most gurus in the Sri Sampradaya will do. They will teach you the Puranas, they will teach you the Srimad Bhagavatam, they will teach you all of these things. Then I have a special function which very few gurus have attempted, either from the Sri Sampradaya or any Sampradaya, and that is to protect Sanatana Dharma. One of my function is to expound, and my second function is to protect. 99% of the gurus belong in the expounding section. Very few gurus belong in the protecting section. I belong to both. My mission is to teach you Sanatana Dharma, and if anybody attacks Sanatana Dharma, then I have to tramp your head. So that is why I am tramping the head of a particular demonic entity, because he has attacked and continues continuously attacks Sanatan Dharma, then he runs to institutions believing that he can lay a complaint against me in those institutions. I am within the parameters of the Bhagavad Gita, and there is no institution on this earth, no institution on this earth that can find that I am performing anything unrighteous, because I am within the parameters of the Bhagavad Gita 100% every day of my life, in every action, in every aspect of my life. There's not even one devotee or my wife or my children can tell me I'm not within the parameters of the Bhagavad Gita. You understand? That's number one. And number two, how many of you were here at the satsang today or at the ashram today? Any parts? You saw me rehearsing anything in somewhere? No. I don't rehearse my discourses. I've never went to a Gurukul. I've never went to a Gurukul. No Guru has taught me anything. No Guru has taught me anything. I got people from Italy, people from France, people from Russia, people from America, and I don't know where else, Vishwadhar can check, who now and again send me notifications telling me, Acharya ji, I'm following you, I heard all your discourses, your 100 discourses, they are the greatest discourses in the world. I couldn't understand Sanatan Dharma, I am now understanding it. Yet, I did not go to any institution to learn the Bhagavad Gita. How do I know the Bhagavad Gita? I did not learn. The Brahma Sutras is the most difficult Vedic injunctions. You can't even read it without getting a headache. It was on this trip of Lord Sri Ramanuj that I bought both the photograph and the murti. I went to Sri Rangam. And I was confusing the Brahma Sutras with the Brahma Samhitas, because the Brahma Samhitas is used by another organization and I didn't want to even touch it. And yes, this bookseller, he's given me the Brahma Sutras translation in English. He screamed at me, he called me, he forced me, and he planted it in my hand, and I'm telling him I don't want it because I thought it was the Brahma Samhitas. And when I looked nicely, I saw it was the Brahma Sutras, which is the Vedanta Sutra itself. To be an Acharya, you have to know the Bhagavad Gita in and out. You have to know the Vedanta Sutras in and out, backward and forward. 545 verses. And you have to know 108 Upanishads in and out, backward and forward, up and down. I did not go to any guru. I met my guru 1 year after he left his material body. I met my guru conceptually. How do I know the Upanishads? How do I know the Bhagavad Gita? How do I know and how can I break down the Vedas in hearable portions which is being accepted around the world? I've also stated, I've kicked out all these false philosophy. Advaita, I said it's a false philosophy. Dvaita, I said it's a false philosophy. Then I asked all these gurus who are still practicing these false philosophies to meet me in a debate, to debate me kicking out false philosophies, is because it is one of the job of a bona fide guru or acharya to kick out false philosophies. It's one of the functions of a bona fide spiritual master. So this is how it works. Cyril, you take an initiation today. This is how it works. Step number 1 is to take initiation. Step number 1 is to take initiation. Initiation leads you to self-realization. Initiation leads you to self-realization. What is self-realization? Vishwadhar has given over a couple hundred discourses. What is self-realization, Vishwadhar?
Knowing that you're the soul and not the body.
So let's understand what's the soul. What is the soul? What does the soul comprise of? Knowledge and bliss. So if I have all this knowledge, not comedy knowledge and entertainment, not that knowledge, transcendental knowledge. What knowledge? Transcendental knowledge is stored in the soul. Where it is stored? In the soul. I want you to follow me. Transcendental knowledge is stored in the soul, which can be actuated through self-realization. Transcendental knowledge, it is stored in every living entity's soul, not only in the Guru's soul. Tivashni has the same amount of knowledge that I have. All the Vedic injunctions is stored in the soul of every living entity. Even Chris in the back has the same knowledge that I'm expounding. You understand? By me having all these Vedic injunctions at my fingertips, I don't research. I only give you references as point of reference. You come anytime to this ashram, you'll find me working. You'll find me working with my workers. If you find these books open in my kutir or it means I'm looking for a reference from the reservoir of knowledge that I have already. So what does this tell you? 2012, I was a businessman. Up until May 1st, 2013, I was a fully functional businessman. How in July and August 2013, July and August, I get filled with all this knowledge. How is that possible? Businessman, mining my own business. Sand, mining my own business. You understand? whilst I was minding my own business, 2 months later, all the Vedas are revealed to me. How is that possible? How is that possible? I lived in my Guru's ashram for 21 days. I lived in my Guru's ashram for 21 days, from July 18th until I think August 10th, I'm not too sure. But I lived there for 21 days. In that 21 days, I reached a stage called self-realization. I reached a stage called self-realization. And if the soul, Mama, you just made it for initiation. So yesterday Mama and I had a very intimate discussion. Very intimate discussion. Mama came up to me, you initiated me tomorrow, but sadly, like there's a death of someone very close in the family, that expression, you initiated me tomorrow. And I said, no, Mama, I'll give you 1 more year. You should have seen, even his false teeth was smiling. Even his false teeth was smiling. So I gave Mama 1 more year's break. He said, yes, man, hey, my meat, I think I'll need a year for my meat. All right? So that is why he bravely came here. His counterpart is hiding with the granddaughter. And I told him, granddaughter, if you remember that satsang, I told him, Satish Bhai, you not taking initiation, remember granddaughter. I told him, go and rewind that satsang and see where he is, hiding behind his granddaughter. Satish Bhai is hiding behind his granddaughter. I said this about a month ago, Jessica, go and rewind.
Yes, Guru, you did.
I told him, and he did exactly what I predicted, hiding behind the kimbis of his granddaughter. He must be watching this discourse and saying, baby, save me. All right? And this is the fun of what we do. All right? Cyril came to me in January in my kutir with his wife, knocked the door, marched in boldly and made a declaration. He said, Guru, I'm ready for you. I didn't see any checkbooks coming forth. I had to ask him what he is ready for. And he said, initiation. I said, okay, we'll do it. As our initiation day is the 5th of May every year. So he's been waiting in anticipation. He will get initiated after Aarti. I'm doing initiation in 2 phases. The first is I'll give you the mantra, and when I see you are ready, then I will brand you. When I brand you, then it is complete. Okay? So coming back, the first day, on the 5th, I do not invite any guest because I set the tone for the month of the Ramanujans, so we can have these discussions and these understanding. So, remember, 15 years ago, if somebody made an allegation against another person, it was only that person and 10 people and the other person and 10 people that had that knowledge. You understand? And if it went into newspapers, then it went a bit further. Today, every action is on social media, and everybody goes on social media. And there's this narcissist who does ambush marketing on social media. If you advertise that you're going to do something, I think Vishwadhar knows about ambush marketing. Vishwadhar? Yeah, you in that your employment. If you say you're doing a certain thing and you get a group of people to come there and then you market something else, it's called ambush marketing. So every time that something is said about our ashram, we have to defend it. You understand? Because it's on social media. I'm on social media, and this narcissist is also on social media, and when he does ambush marketing using the Guru's name, and if I do not continuously defend myself, then Ravana is going to take over. Ravana is going to take over. And the essence of the Bhagavad Gita is given to Arjuna to fight unrighteousness, even if it's your own bloodline. Even if it's your own bloodline. This is why there's nobody, no institution, not the Mahadharma Sabha, both ends, the Mahadharma Sabha is split in two. They cannot impel me to desist from what I am doing. You understand? Because my constitution states, the Acharya Sham Ramanuj Foundation constitution states that that the Bhagavad Gita, the Vedanta Sutra and Ramayana and Mahabharata are the authorities upon which this Guru subsists. So as long as I am within these authorities and the legal constitutional authorities of the country, there is no body of people that can impel me to stop doing what I am doing. You understand? So coming back, and I want you to understand very, very carefully that if I was not schooled in Sanatana Dharma, but I have full knowledge of Sanatana Dharma, that means I went through a bona fide process of self-realization. Because once you realize you are the soul, then one of the attributes of the soul is knowledge, transcendental knowledge, which I reveal to you since the past 10 years. It means the Guru has passed a threshold called self-realization. Are you understanding? It is scientific, it is absolute, and I'm proving it practically. And I can ask any Guru in the world to sit and debate my self-realized knowledge in the Vedanta Sutras, in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Ramayana, in the Mahabharata, all 545,000 verses of the Vedas. All 545,000 verses. Anybody can debate me on that. Open challenge to any guru in the world to debate me on the transcendental knowledge of the Vedas. That is how you can prove a fake guru. Because guru is supposed to give you knowledge. And if the guru can't give you knowledge, then and then only is he a fake guru. All of you understand? So I've been through a practical process called self-realization, and that is why I have this knowledge. I've been through another practical process called God realization. Self-realization, God realization. Self-realization, God realization. All of you understand? I had to undergo this practically, otherwise, from which dimension do I explain the Supreme Lord to you? Remember, the Sri Narayan Dham was the only ashram in the world to expound that Lord Sri Narayan is the Supreme Lord to the whole world. I proved it to you with every scripture. Is it there, Vishwadhar? Is it on YouTube? That I scripturally proved over 24 hours continuous service, which never happened in this domain in any part of the world. And I proved to the Western world, because I'm an English-speaking guru, that Lord Sri Narayan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I've proven that. Then I've taken every scripture. I've taken every scripture and I showed the parallels in every scripture. If I was not God realized, how would I have received this information and given it to you? Do you understand? Then I have practically, you're going to witness on Sunday. We did it last year and we did it the previous year. I think this is our third. This is our third interfaith. There is also a reverend that's going to come here. On his own, Jessica, when we were in Marisburg. On his own. He was shaken when he said that he felt the potency of the Guru by him just speaking. The Reverend felt, he is from the KZN Christian Council. He is the second highest of the KZN Christian Council. And he was shaking and trembling when he had an interaction with me. You understand? These are physical, practical evidence that the Guru is authentic and has spiritual credentials. So to be a bona fide Guru, but we need these demonic entities to prod us so that the Guru can explain clearly to the world who a bona fide Guru is. If these people don't do that, Vishwadhar and I would have, Vasan and I would not have went to India. And as I said, Vasan is the only, not even people in India do this. Vasan is the only person that went to India and took out a photograph with Ravana's sister. Hasn't been done. Hasn't been ever done. So we just want to wrap up very quickly that the Guru's spiritual birth is from the womb of Lord Ramanuj and Swami Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. Guru's spiritual birth is directly from the womb of Lord Ramanuj and Swami Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. And my mission is, from my Guru first, he said, create a divine society. And my mission from Lord Sri Ramanuj is, respect all, worship your own. And this is called oneness and social cohesion. Are we on par with my mission? Are we on par? All of you understand? So at this point, I want to wish Vasudeva Ramanuj Das a happy century divided by 2. A happy century divided by 2. I told you that the prince and him, and if you dim the lights, you won't know who's Slati Kulu. And Vasan went all the way to Swaziland. And the San Nation is majority in Swaziland. He took a photo of the king. Instead of sending it to his guru, he sends it to his brother. Prince got a photograph of Vasan in Swaziland. I haven't received any photographs yet. Can you believe it? Blood is thicker than Guru. Blood is thicker than Guru. With all of this, we want to wish Vasan a happy birthday. He's come a long way with his Guru. All the days were not happy days. And there were times when he almost left the Guru's feet and he was hanging by a thread. He was hanging by a thread. But he somehow realized all the values of the Guru and he caught that feet again. Now I have to duck because he is here at ashram every morning. You understand? He doesn't want to leave the feet of the Guru anymore. And still, if I have to ask any one of you, if you want to know how to be a disciple, ask Vasudeva Ramanuj Das. Catch him, take him one side and ask him the road. I think last year he had his van parked outside down there and he was busy doing some electrical. All his tools worth I think 20,000 or even more was stolen from the van in the ashram. He never questioned that. He just continued doing what he was doing. Just continued doing what he was doing. Only thing he told me, Acharya ji, I have to go home quickly and bring a substitute drill or one of his, he had one at home. It didn't bother him that he was doing seva in the ashram and all his tools were stolen. This is why I say, if you want to learn how to be a disciple, don't listen to Vishwadar's discourses. Won't teach you anything. Go and practically ask Vasudeva Ramanuj Das. And sometimes I just get shocked what Lord Ramanuj does to me. Vasudeva's birthday is today. In 2 days' time is Vishwadar's birthday. You understand? in this great month, I find Vishwadhar there. We got 11 months. And we got 4 days in the beginning of May and 3 days at the end of May. But smack in the beginning is our first Indian Jew. Are there any questions? Any questions? All of you that are present here, I like to see you all every day. And fortunately, Ashmika Avir Bhai, she works at the ashram. And that is the danger. Because if I don't see her at satsang, how she's going to face me next morning? You understand? I wish we get more people working at the ashram. Okay, Avir Bhai? I see you sad. Sad, Avir Bhai. Guru is full of tricks. But the greatest trickster, if you want to really know, is Guruji. And as we go forward, we'll discuss Lord Sri Ramanuj and Guruji. So this event that we are having, tomorrow we are having a political party, Freedom Front Plus. Freedom Front Plus, look at the diversity. They are Afrikaners, white Afrikaners, and Sanatan Dharma mix in. This can only be possible through the Creator God. Because Creator God is Creator for everyone. So please attend. Please show them hospitality. And for some reason in our menu, again, look at how God is. We're having a bride tomorrow. Before these two connected, our menu was a bride. And they will fit in. Please do not tell these people that this is soya. Don't tell them what we're doing is soya. Alright? So Vasudeva, I want you to spend the next 50 years. Once the Guru is gone, there'll be heavy responsibility on your shoulders and Vishwadhar's shoulders. Very heavy responsibilities in making sure that all that I have instilled in both of you, and I'm saying I'm picking on you too because of your birthdays in this month. Alright, I'll catch Nilesh and Jessica later. But heavy responsibility on your shoulders. The month of the Ramanujans eventually will bring the world together. I don't know in which year, but will eventually bring the world together. This is a microcosm of our world, what we're doing here. Eventually it will split, but it have to come with hard work and dedication. And we can proudly say that as South Africans, again I said we shouldn't be using the word Indian, we need another identification. But as South African Indians practicing Sanatan Dharma, and to bring everyone onto our platform is an achievement that people are going to talk for years and years and years. And I also want to state before I close that there are people with credentials. that have analyzed how substantial we have been in changing the consciousness of our people. And this is why a university has intervened and another university has intervened, and they want to publish a biography of the Guru. It's a world first, where a university wants to publish a biography of a Guru leading to a PhD. Leading to a PhD. You understand the enormity of this? It is because the academia has seen this concept in theory only. And we were the first to actuate it into practicality. And it is for this reason. So, with whatever negativity we are bombarded with, there's also people with real credentials, not incognito, professors that are involved in this ashram and the work that the Guru is doing, especially if it has to be meshed into a PhD. All of you understand? You understand? Okay. Tomorrow is also our AGM. So after supper, when our guests have left, we'll come back because we'll be too hungry to have the AGM and also make them wait. So it won't be hospitable to make them wait, you understand? So satsang starts at 4 tomorrow. Please come in your numbers. It will finish quickly. I won't be giving a long speech. It will be the guest that will be speaking. Today we'll have Aarti. Whenever there are guests, then we're not going to do Aarti because it might not be practical to have Aarti. So we'll consider the opening Aarti, the main Aarti, and I don't know why Hemita did not play Lord Ramanuj in the opening Aarti. Okay, Dana, you'll do the Ramanuj Aarti now, and we'll break for Vasan's birthday. Okay.